I'm Roger Bannock. In a few minutes, I'd like to kind of go over the issue that Washington State, despite the fact that we know from scientific evidence that we're going to have another tsunami, does not have enough tsunami shelters in place to protect the population that live on the Washington coast. And something that you personally can do to help rectify that situation. So years ago, I was in Hawaii, and I was told to leave the beach because a 15-foot wave was coming our way. I did, and I came back the next day and said, "What happened?" And they said, "Well, a 1-foot wave actually appeared, but down the beach it was 3 feet." What that taught me was that nobody knows for sure how big a tsunami wave is going to be. We know that Washington is going to get one. We know that when the fault plate that is off the about 60 miles off the Washington coast collapses, it'll cause an earthquake. That earthquake will collapse all the roads and turn the sand to liquefy the sand, and you have to walk to some area that is going to be taller than the wave that is coming your way, and that wave is only going to take 20 to 30 minutes to get there. So we need tsunami shelters, from the fact we know this is going to happen. Our scientists say it is. And the problem that we are having is that our geologists dig through the sand and they say, well, at this location, 500 years ago, there was evidence that there was like a 30-foot wave. 1,000 years ago, there was evidence that there was a 1,000-foot wave, or a 50-foot wave. 2,500 years ago, there's evidence that there was a 100-foot wave. All of this goes back to the Environmental Protection Agency. Laws are written, just kind of outlining a building that needs to be built, making it a very expensive building to build to this worst case scenario, and as a result, the communities can't afford it. There's only 2 built in our entire state, and we know because the way that the geography is laid out that we need 100. Westport needs 10 to 12, Ocean Shores needs 12, 14, Long Beach maybe 26, 28, etc. The problem is that we need to have them be, we need to be able to afford them to be built. So I tried to address this issue 5 or 6 years ago. I put together a little 501c3 company, designed a building similar to what they do in Japan, that was maybe 30 feet tall, 2 stories, open air, and took it to the communities. It was actually capable of being enclosed with breakout walls, so you could generate some income by maybe having concerts on the top and farmers markets on the middle floor, or revenue from office space or retail space by enclosing the building. The community said, hey, we like this building, we'd like something like that, but we can't afford to not implement the design criteria that the Environmental Protection Agency laid out. Because if we build 6 or 8 buildings and at one location the wave is too tall for that location, we have liability. We can get sued. We would look dumb, and even though we're trying to help the population. So I went back to the drawing board and I started thinking about it, and I said, well, we got seatbelts. We got seatbelt laws that say, hey, seatbelts save lives. They've been proven to save lives. And yet, if 2 cars are coming together fast enough, you aren't going to make it. So it has a limited range that you're protected against. And the odds are that, the tsunami wave is going to be maybe 10, 15, 20 feet at most locations. And if you build something like that, if you don't have anything there, 80 to 90% of the people are going to die. You build something that is taller than that wave, you're going to save the people. So to get the communities to buy into having them built and probably saving lives. Probably just like a seatbelt probably is going to save your life. It's not, too strong. You need to indemnify them against liability. And say, okay, look, let's have a Good Samaritan law. Okay, have our politicians write Good Samaritan laws that say the community tried to have something in place to protect the population, and they did. A lot of people were saved. So the one or two times that it didn't work, they tried. Just like you're burning, pulling somebody from a burning building or something. So what you need to do, if you like this concept, if this makes sense to you, makes sense to me, talk it up. Talk it up to your friends, your neighbors, your groups you belong to, your Elks, Rotary, local newspapers, even talk to your politicians, your congressmen, your senators, and say, look, we want tsunami shelters in place before the tsunami wave comes. Okay, we know it's coming. 15 to 20% chance in the next 50 years. We know what's coming. Let's build something there to protect people. And if there's enough discussion, enough approval of this by the population, the politicians are going to write those laws. So I need your help. Please talk it up. And if you do, we're liable to see that happen.